Here at Rocket Restorations, the landscape is just littered with full-size Chrysler Muscle Era cars. And some of the best ones among them, police cars. And one of the best police cars we've got in stock, this one, 1973 Dodge Polara. If you've watched the channel for long, you know that I don't really know anything about full-size Chrysler products, and I know even less about cop cars. So if you're really interested in a deep dive, details and particulars of this vehicle, head over to the Rocket Restorations YouTube channel and check out the video Tom put up yesterday on this car. It's pretty awesome. This one's particularly neat because it's a Washington State Patrol car. Washington State being the state we live in. And that's nifty. Apparently Washington State Patrol were particular about the cars they would use. So instead of buying regular Polara Pursuit models, they bought Polara Customs. This car is resplendent with original and correct police car equipment. The spotlight, for one thing. The certified speedometer, and this custom-built center console for the Washington State Patrol. It's even currently wearing a correct light setup. Unfortunately, I had to take it off, so this thing can drive on roads and stuff. It's only wearing that light bar because I stole it off the shelf and installed it while Tom wasn't looking. I did that to film a silly video called the Corn Dog Car Chase, which you can find on my channel somewhere. I certainly don't want you to get the idea through the video that this car is perfect, so I better show you the not so good side. There's definitely some stuff kind of in this region. The passenger door has been replaced, so I can only assume it was even worse than this back door. Of course, as with most classic Chrysler products around here, Mother Nature's been doing her best to lighten it, but all in all, this thing's pretty solid. Under the hood, 440. That's cool. Police cars are cool. Not only because they had 440s under the hood, but also because of the heavy-duty suspension. They put all kinds of good stuff in these cars to make them do neat stuff. Chase down bad guys or whatever. And for that reason, they're really fun to whip around in fields and stuff. More on that later, if we're lucky. Anywho, this car actually belongs to Gary Hergert, Tom's twin brother. And he wants to drive it on the road this weekend or something like that. So there are some things we need to address. For one thing, the carburetor. As you can see, it's shiny new, but it doesn't really behave the way it's supposed to. I've already gone one round on tuning it, but we're going to see if we can improve things a little bit more. Thankfully, I am wearing the correct shirt for that today. We've already fixed a horrible leak from the transmission dipstick. That's a big improvement. This thing has been marking its territory everywhere it sits. We're going to go ahead and take another somewhat unplanned detour through the electrical system. I did a video about aftermarket electrical systems and classic Chrysler products a while back, and when I was talking about wiring with the consistency of uncooked spaghetti, this is what I was talking about. That's just ugly. It's fine, it's just the wire that makes the engine run. Yeah, and there's some other stuff, so yeah. And a weird, totally unrelated problem I just found. Sometimes that happens, and then you lose main battery power. And the whole car dies, which incidentally happened to me when I was trying to film the intro to this video. This car's been off the road for a long time. As you can see, we've done little things over the last however many months getting it ready to drive, but it just needs that little bit more care and attention. It also really needs a bath in here, but that's not really my department. So let's address those things. And we'll take the light bar off the roof and ruin everything. And then we'll test it. You gotta test it. I mean, what else would a good cop do with their equipment before using it in the field? Great, now the car is full of bees like everything else around here. Also, what is going on with my hair? Not good. Admire my expert and professional wiring job for the light bar. Awesome sauce, deleted. Undercover mode, engage. So I already fiddled the screws on this thing once, 2 months ago, 3 months ago. I don't even know. And it's gotten a lot better, but before I go any further, I just want to do a basic health check on the engine. Now, I don't mean remove every single spark plug and do a compression test. That's a lot easier than that. If you've got a well-tuned ear, you can listen to the compression of your engine as it cranks over without firing, and you'll be able to tell if there's a jump, a skip, an obviously weak cylinder. So let's do that. That sounds really good. I'm pleased with that. That doesn't tell us that this thing has 200 PSI of compression and it's gonna be awesome. But it does tell us that the engine's relatively even. There's nothing major mechanical we need to worry about, so we can move on. An infrared temperature gun is a great device for looking for dead cylinders, which we don't seem to have here. So that's good. Initial vacuum reading, pretty steady. A little lower than I think it should be, but not so bad. It has a really, really annoying whistle noise. We're not sure what that is. It's always done that, apparently. Oh yeah. The idle screw's backed out all the way, and that's as low as it'll go. Well, that's interesting. Well, now I have questions. I think I mentioned we had this carburetor off, like, some months ago. Maybe I didn't mention that. We tuned it. We messed with it. What have you. For some reason, the carburetor mounting bolts were loose. I swear they weren't, but they were. Anyway, I thought, aha! Problem solved. Not at all. Didn't change a thing. So, I'm gonna take the carburetor off and look at the throttle blades because they do not seem to be closing all the way. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Jamie, high idle, untunable. That's indicative of a vacuum leak. You must have a vacuum leak. Well, I've already checked that thoroughly. And I can tell by how much air is coming in through the air horn. That's not the issue. So let's look at these throttle blades and see what's what. Well, here we are again. Admire the factory type thick old gasket. Not seeing any evidence of problems here. Now this is definitely the correct size gasket. The throttle blades aren't hitting it or anything. I've gained a more complete understanding of the problem. Now I'm planning to do a deep dive Thermoquad video soon. This isn't that, but well, we're inside one anyway. Yeah, as you can see, the throttle blades just weren't quite seated right when this thing was rebuilt, so they're not able to close. I'm going to loosen all 4 of these screws, force the throttle closed, and then retighten them. And it should be good to go. Of course, while I'm in here, I found something I don't like. Fuel beneath the well plugs. I've discussed this on video before, but it's been quite a while. On the bottom of the thermoplastic, fancy, phenolic, whatever, Thermoquad body, there are these plugs below the main jets. And that epoxy fails over the years and they just start dribbling, which is bad. Basically makes your Thermoquad untunable. Here's another random Thermoquad from a box. Notice the fitment on those throttle blades. You actually can see a very slight amount of daylight through there. Compare that to this. Not ideal. Well, they're closed now. Same problem, but different culprit. That rod connecting the primary throttle to the secondary throttle bent wrong and holding the primaries open a little bit. Hey, the blades are definitely set right now, so that's the good news. I probably didn't need to take it this far apart. Heck, I probably didn't need to take it off the engine to figure that out, but learning. Oh, hey, ain't just good, it's good enough. So, about that whistling and not having a vacuum leak. The correct gasket for this Thermoquad should cover that middle section, but this one doesn't. Because of the lack of sealing there, there's a course for vacuum to escape through this vent. Yeah, we need one like this. This is why we hoard things. When you're rebuilding a carburetor, it's definitely possible that your kit comes with multiple gaskets. You always want to inspect them very thoroughly because sometimes you can have weird little things like this. Little differences that aren't immediately apparent, but can cause a problem. While scraping off the wrong gasket, I found this. An obvious repair. It's not really ideal, but I don't have time to make it any better right now, so this is gonna have to work. Problems with Thermoquad main bodies are very, very common. They crack, they warp, so I'm not surprised by this, but I wish it was a little better. Anyway, let's put it back together. Oh yes, I'm thinking the fluid I was seeing down below these main wells was actually residual, possibly related to this gasket not sealing at all. Again, I'm out of time, so we're just gonna call it good for now. Hope for the best. Because I took this thing apart totally wrong, one of the needles fell out, so I had to fix that. I was wondering what I forgot here, but I didn't have to wonder for long. Like it never happened. Hey, it actually reaches the idle screw now. That's great. Oh, come on. Need a helping hand? Safety bumper tried to take off my knee. Oh. Whoa, that's not ideal. Big improvement. Yeah, this is already much better. I'm glossing over the obvious fact that it needs a tune-up. A bunch of other stuff. Let's check the timing. Well, my random ear ball set it at 18 degrees base. The engine likes it, but that's a little much. This sticker, of course, is supposed to tell me what the base timing should be, but it doesn't. So apparently while I was testing it, some muffler pieces were exiting the vehicle. That's cool. Muffler, tailpipe, whatever. Timed at 13 degrees now. Let's see how it starts. Oh, that's not bad. Oh yeah. You know what it doesn't do anymore? Whistle. It's kind of starting to rain, but unfortunately, windshield wipers aren't a thing on this model. Did I mention I'm out of time? Don't look at this. It's 8% safer, but it's the best I can do. Ooh, correct trapdoor air cleaner. Of course, it's orange on a blue engine, which is hideous, but correct. I'd love to clean all the mud off that, but then it wouldn't match the patina. Can you do me a favor and like throw that in the mud real quick? Restored. Fun story. The alternator's charging, but that charge is not reaching the battery. Did I mention I'm out of time? Let's drive this thing. I mean, really, what's the worst that could happen? I guess the car could catch on fire. Dang it, I forgot my sunglasses today. Kind of slow getting there. I'm not sure about this throttle adjustment. It drives nice though. Brakes are good. I like it. Unfortunately, I forgot like all of my filming stuff today. Typical. Anyway. Yeah, there's no way that's full throttle. That's just impossible. Luckily you don't really need full throttle to do this. Whee! Yeah, it's pretty much a rally machine. Okay, it doesn't take the jumps quite as well as the Wagoneer, but it's not bad. The articulation leaves a little to be desired. Overall, quite good. I've been saying for a while now, I think I'm gonna have to get a C-body. And a cop car would be awesome. I'm sure there's one around here they don't need. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Worked through some problems. Drove through a field. Regular Dead Dodge Garage stuff, you know. If you want to see more classic Chrysler C-body and cop car stuff, I'll say again, you should probably hop over to the Rocky Restorations YouTube channel. Tom's going to be doing more and more of that kind of stuff, so check it out. All right, I better go put this thing away before Gary notices I'm plowing the field with it. Plus I have like actual jobs to work on. Thank you very much for watching. And remember what a good cop does with his equipment before using it in the field. They test it in the field. Hilarious. No, 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 no. No, we're good. Everything's fine. Totally fine. Like I said, capable off-roader. Too much fun. It might be time to film the corn dog car chase too. This time, we might get him. Oh yeah, did I mention it has a friend? More on that later. No, I think I got away with it. He's not going to suspect a thing.